Hey, what's up guys? It's Mike Nardi here. And welcome to my channel where some random guy, that's me, gives you free tips and advice to help you make a bunch of money as a seller on Fiverr. So in today's video, I have a pretty interesting update to share with you that I discovered when logging into Fiverr today. I just don't know whether or not I should start with the good news or the bad news. Well, I'll start with the good news first. This morning when I logged into Fiverr to check in on how things were going, I noticed something pretty amazing. I was checking through my open orders, I was clicking through to my analytics page to see how the month had been going, and then I found myself on my earnings page. And on the earnings page, as you probably know, it shows you all of your completed orders and how many days are left until your funds are cleared for payment. But I noticed something on my earnings page. Fiverr added an early payout option that appeared in the lines of each of my orders. That got me a little bit excited. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, log into Fiverr on a desktop, click through to your earnings tab, and scroll down and see your lines of past Fiverr orders. If you have this feature enabled, you should see a little clickable button in the middle of your completed orders that says early payout, and it has a little fast forward button, similar to what you're used to on an old VCR. So this is the good news I have for you today. Up until now, if you're a seller on Fiverr, you'd have to wait 14 days after you completed an order and after that order was marked as completed before the funds you made actually became available to you. In the case of top rated sellers, that was a 7-day period. So the ability to click fast delivery and get that money real time is really helpful, and it's a huge plus for Fiverr sellers because it adds a lot of flexibility that we didn't have before. In my opinion, this is fantastic news. If you're a freelancer, whether it be part-time or full-time, you'll know that work comes in waves. Sometimes you'll be super busy, you'll be getting orders consistently, a couple orders a day or a couple orders a week consistently for a long period of time. And that's awesome. Those are the good times. But sometimes the orders don't come that frequently, and you might be left scoring, a couple really large orders at random intervals. But in the case of Fiverr, let's say you score a $500 order, you complete the work, and the buyer accepts the delivery, and you don't get another order for a week. Now you got to wait 14 days before the funds from that order become available. All of us have expenses in real life, and the bank doesn't care when your Fiverr earnings are coming for clearance. Your mortgage is due on the same day, your insurance payments are due on the same day, your Netflix and your other subscriptions, they're gonna come out of your account on the same day every month. So typically, as a freelancer who's earning money a little inconsistently or at varying intervals throughout the year, that can be a challenge because you always have to be planning ahead to make sure you have enough money in your account to pay for these life expenses. So with this new early payout option, all these life expenses aren't as big of a challenge to forecast for based on your Fiverr earnings, because if you find yourself in a bind and you really need cash, you can just select the early payout option and get the cash when you need it. It really opens a whole new world of flexibility for Fiverr sellers, and I'd imagine it's going to save people a lot of stress if they've ever worried about paying their bills when they're waiting for Fiverr earnings to clear. But now it's time for the bad news. I know this Fiverr early payout option sounds amazing, and it really is. I'm a huge advocate of it, and I think it's an awesome addition to the Fiverr platform that just makes the decision to work through Fiverr an even easier decision because it gives an extra layer of flexibility to freelancers. And I think it's awesome, but there is some bad news. If you go to your earnings page and click early payout on one of your orders, a message will pop up. And it reads, "Get paid immediately. Increase your cash flow by making your revenues immediately available for withdrawal. Please note an early payout fee of X number of dollars will be charged for this action." I checked across a couple of my orders just to verify what that fee was, and it looks like it works out to 1% of your order value that's waiting for clearance. That's 1% after Fiverr already took its 20% cut. Well, 1% to get your money way faster than waiting 14 days doesn't seem like a huge deal. It is kind of a deal breaker for me. If I can avoid situations where I would need to access those funds that fast and save that 1% on my orders, I'm definitely going to. Because for a small order, it might not seem like that much money. But if I have a $500 order that's pending clearance and I just want the money now versus in 7 or 14 days, I need to pay Fiverr another $5, I'd rather keep that money for myself. But this negative might not be a deal breaker for everyone. You know, 1% might be a really small price to pay in situations where you desperately need the cash now. You know, I just explained how everyone has life expenses, mortgages, insurance, bills. If you have a bill coming up and you got $1,000 pending clearance on Fiverr, you're probably gonna pay the 1%, pay the bills, and life goes on. It's not that huge a deal. I just don't like the fact that I would need to pay an extra 1%. I understand what Fiverr's doing, and as a business, it makes sense for them. But as a seller, I'm okay with paying them their 20% in the first place. I would have appreciated if they made this a free option. Or maybe, you know, if Fiverr sees this, make it a free option for level 2 or top rated sellers down the road. That would be an awesome perk. You know, 7-day clearing on your funds and the option to expedite the clearing on a certain amount of orders per month. I think that would be awesome. It would save me a couple of bucks and it would, you know, make me happy as a seller. So at the end of the day, I think this early payout option is an awesome addition to the Fiverr platform. I know that I broke this video down into the, you know, the good news and the bad news, but overall, and I think you would agree, the good news far outweighs the bad news, because at the end of the day, it is our choice whether we want to use the early payout option on our orders. And if we do, we pay the small 1% fee and we get our money real time, which is awesome. And it's great that we have that flexibility. While I don't see myself using it that often, but who knows, I might if I find myself in a bind. I can totally see how a lot of sellers will appreciate this flexibility and might use it in situations where they just want to get access to their cash faster. And that's pretty much what it boils down to. I think thumbs up to Fiverr for putting out this update, and I think a lot of sellers are going to be positively impacted by it. That's all I have for you today. Just wanted to share this update and my thoughts on it. If you're new to this channel, make sure you're checking out some of my other videos. I have over 30 videos that I've put out that help people like you learn tips to become better sellers on the Fiverr platform and ultimately make more money. That's what this whole channel is about. So I'll include some helpful links in the description of this video, but make sure you're subscribing to the channel and watching my other videos. Thanks again, and until next time, cheers.